Internet, it is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today we're going to be talking about Men. As usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons, so let's get to it. Pros. This is an A24 movie. I've talked about them twice before this year on the channel, but I might as well talk about them again. So A24, one could describe them as the little studio that could. Because in the past few years they've been slowly but surely gaining quite a bit of clout from like movie lovers for how weird and different their movies are compared to the usual mainstream stuff we have these days. Right? Some of their movies have gotten quite a bit of notoriety. Movies like The Witch, Midsommar, Hereditary, That Comes at Night, and then recently this year they have, X. And then this year, just last month, in fact, or really, yeah, more or less last month, they had Everything Everywhere All at Once, which will very quickly become their biggest movie of all time. I'm pretty sure it's reached it now. Well, at least we'll reach it in the next few days. And oh yeah, there's also Ex Machina, which is important because the director of this movie, Men, also made Ex Machina, and Ex Machina was a very good movie, and it did pretty well considering I guess, it's low key release. Like it wasn't like a massive deal. It wasn't treated like a massive deal, but it still did pretty okay in the grand scheme of things. And I think it won some Oscars. I'm pretty sure. I think it won visual effects Oscars. I think. Yeah, yeah. That was like one of the first A24 movies to get some notoriety, get some attention. Now here we are with A24. They're doing better than ever. So having A24 attached to a movie is a good thing at this point. So I consider that to be a pro. Just A24 in general and their reputation right now. It's going really well. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, I guess the director of this. I already mentioned Ex Machina, which he directed, but he also directed. I gotta find this guy. Uh, well, Alex Garland. This dude. Uh, Technical credits. Here we go. All right. So he made Ex Machina, right? He also made Annihilation, which was also a weird movie. It wasn't from A24, it was from Paramount. Didn't do as well though. It was kind of screwed because overseas, I think it went to Netflix, so that pretty much killed any chance of success. But I mean, for the type of movie it is, although it was a bomb, it could have done much worse than what it did. So there's that at least. And now here we are with Men. So Alex Garland, he's built up a reputation with his last two movies. So I'm pretty sure he's built up a bit of a fan base, and some of that fan base will definitely show up to see this, to see, what crazy idea he has now. So I guess we can consider Alex Garland to be a pro ish. I mean, he's had one hit and one flop, so it's kind of so he's in the middle right now. This is going to be the tiebreaker, but yeah, I think he's built enough of a reputation to where his fans might watch the movie. So that's a pro. Another pro. This movie has no direct competition. I mean, sure, there's Firestarter, but come on now. Firestarter was DOA last weekend. Nothing is gonna save that movie. But when it comes to other horror movies, I mean, the next real one we're getting is The Black Phone. That's not till late June. So when it comes to direct competition, there really isn't anything. So that's a pro. Another pro, reviews for this are pretty decent. I think it's like at 76%. Can't call that a bad thing. So that's another pro. Can I think of anything else that's a pro? Trying to think real hard. can't think of anything. Okay, cons. The audience reaction for this movie is not great. Last I checked, it's at 62, which is again not great, but it's not unusual for an A24 movie because a lot of their horror movies are pretty divisive amongst audience members. Again, movies like Hereditary, Midsommar, The Witch, It Comes at Night. And it seems like this is just going to like the same boat as the other ones. I guess The Green Knight too, although that wasn't a horror movie, that was still pretty divisive. Although I liked it. It seems like Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of the few A24 movies that everyone universally loves, which probably explains why it's doing so well. But yeah, this is going more towards the divisive route, which may not always be a good thing. I mean, it didn't hurt Hereditary, it didn't hurt Midsommar, didn't really hurt any of the other movies, but still, it's something to note. So I consider that kind of a con, just the lackluster audience response right now. Although that, again, that wasn't entirely unexpected. So that's a con. Another con is that although, yes, there's no direct competition until late June, that doesn't mean big movies are not going to come out, because they certainly are. Next week, Top Gun Maverick. 2 weeks after that, Jurassic World Dominion. A week after that, Lightyear. Those are three blockbuster-esque movies opening, and they are going to eat into every movie that is not even close to their level. And this is going to be one of them. This is definitely going to be a casualty of the big blockbusters coming in and making money. Because as I already said with Down Abbey 2, those big blockbusters are going to take away screens, they're going to take away theaters, showtimes, all that. And it's going to get screwed over. Because that's what usually happens in these situations. So, yeah, Men really has this one weekend to thrive, and then after that, it's more or less game over. But who knows? It could survive the storm. I doubt it though. So I would consider that to be a con. Just the upcoming blockbusters, being released in the next few weeks will definitely take a toll on this movie. Any other cons I can think of? I mean, when it comes to ads, I've seen one ad for this movie on YouTube, which is better than nothing. But it does seem to have like a big old grand ad campaign, probably because A24 spent all their money on Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I don't blame them for. But it feels like this movie is definitely a much lower profile than Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that's a problem. And that's a con. Just relatively low profile. Is there anything else I can say? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've said all my points. So opening weekend. Oh yeah, it's preview number. It's okay for what it is. I mean, I can compare it to X, which seems fair. I mean, X came out like 2 months ago. X. Here we go. That did 440, so about the same. Ever so slightly worse, but about the same. About the same level. And that movie opened with like 4 million. I think that's I think that's achievable for this. I think it's going to open within the range of 3 to 5 million. That's where I see it hitting its opening weekend. And then its total might be it might reach 10, maybe a little above 10, a little below 10, around 10. That's where I see this landing. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else to say really about this. And that's it for the weekend. Only 2 movies to cover that I covered. And next week, another 2 movies to cover, except they're infinitely more important than these two. First we have the Bob's Burgers movie, which is kind of looking like it's DOA. And then we have Top Gun Maverick, which is widely expected to be a smash hit, which I could definitely see happening. It's checking all the boxes when it comes to a successful launch. So that's going to be a really interesting weekend, really interesting Memorial Day weekend. And then the week after that, I guess I do Watcher. If not, then I guess it's a free weekend. And then the week after that, I don't know about these other two movies here, but there's Jurassic World Dominion. That's definitely going to be a big deal. Then the week after that is Lightyear, which will definitely be a big deal. And then things slow down a little bit with the Black Phone and Elvis. And then they speed up again with Minions 2 and Thor Love and Thunder. And then some other movies in July. There's no DC League of Super Pets. And then things go downhill from there until Christmas, more or less. So, yeah, stay tuned for all these videos coming up. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made this year, especially the ones I've done on X and Everything Everywhere All at Once, you can go right ahead, watch those. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I never covered Men once, so that so there's that. But if you want to watch any of the past canceled episodes I've made, there's like 127 episodes now, so you want to watch them all chronological order, binge watch it, go right ahead. I encourage it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. May recap will come out beginning of June. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not going to be very exciting. I'm really going to be talking about two movies. Those movies being Doctor Strange 2 and Top Gun Maverick, and everything else is just there. So, yeah, stay tuned for that video. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.